So I was recently sent this video by Doug Andrews. So for those that don't know, Doug Andrews does financial content on YouTube, and I believe he's been in the financial space since I want to say like the mid 1970s. So he's been doing it a long time. And in addition to that, he's always mentioned that his favorite financial vehicle for himself and for his client is Index Universal Life. And I'm not here to argue whether that's true or not because he's been doing this for a very long time and he has his own personal reasons why he feels the way he does. Now, the reason for this video is because in the video that was sent to me, he made some very bold claims. He said that he was able to get his clients a 61.33% rate of return in 1 year inside of an IUL. So what I'm gonna do is play parts of the video. That way you could get some context behind what he's trying to say. And I'll jump in and give my feedback too as well. And at the very end, I'm gonna give you the absolute truth. Just like I always do, no sugarcoating. Now, it's not gonna be based on opinion. It's gonna be based on facts, and I'm gonna show you visual proof to back it up.
Now, let's go to what I started out with. These are clients in the year 2020 to 2021. What happened in March of 2020? The stock market dropped, the S&P dropped 30% in 1 month, March of 2020, because of COVID-19. Now, when there's anxiety, that spells opportunity. We contacted over 800 of our clients, and with one keystroke, we had them link to a 1 year point-to-point with no cap. That's called a threshold strategy. We usually don't use threshold strategies except when the market drops. That spells opportunity. And so the reason why we usually don't use a threshold strategy because the insurance company has no cap on what they'll credit you, but they subtract 5%. So if we're averaging 12, you subtract 5, you're only netting 7.
So what he's referring to right there is known as a spread. So inside of IULs, you have different type of account options you can invest in. The most common, which you're probably familiar with, is the floor and the cap, meaning let's say the cap is 10% and the floor is 0. So if the market does, 5, you get 5, it does 10, you get 10, but if it does 15, you still only get the 10. Most people know that. Then when it comes to the floor, if the market were to go below 0, you get the 0, the guarantee against loss. So you're going to float between that 10 and 0% rate of return, depending on what the market produces. Now, when it comes to a spread, it's different. So an insurance company is saying there's no cap on what you get, meaning no cap. You can get as high as it goes, you can go with it. Now, here's the catch, right? Because there's always a catch to it or, a other side of the coin, should I say. So what the insurance company says is, we're going to give you unlimited gains based on whatever the market does. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the first 5%. Meaning if the market does 5, we're taking 5, so you end up with 0. But if the market does 6, we're still taking 5 and you end up with 1. So everything above that 5% is what you actually get to keep as a client. So the reason he's saying he uses that spread strategy is because of how the market performed. When the market dropped like it did during COVID, typically when markets go down, they go back up. So he's looking at it as, hey, this could be a great buying opportunity. So we can buy extremely low. And then when the market rebounds, it's going to rebound really high. So we're willing to give up that 5% spread to get all that market gain. Now, some may look at that as a big gamble, but you have to remember in IUL, the floor is 0. So worst case scenario, if the market did end up crashing, you're going to get 0% rate of return, but you're not going to lose any of your principal. So let's jump back into the video.
But if the market has a chance of going up dramatically, we'll switch to the threshold. So that's what these clients did. So this particular client, they didn't put all their money in that 1 year point-to-point with no cap from March of 2020 to March of 2021. They had $6,000 that they left in a 1 year index that got credited 9%. They had $6,200 that got credited 12%. Another $6,100 that got credited 7.25% that year. But the other half of that money, which is $18,000. So half of the 18 was diversified among these three and got an average return around 9 or 10%. This, though, got credited 61.33%. Because the market was up 66.33 minus 5, they got credited 61.33. So that 18,000 grew to 29,000. So let me pose this. This client, if they needed money in the year 2020 because of COVID-19, this client could have borrowed 17,000 out of this policy. Why would he be better off doing that than just withdrawing 17,000? Okay, listen. If he withdrew 17,000, he would have missed out on 61.33%. By borrowing from the insurance company 17,000, okay, on 17,000 on the loan, they would have charged him $850. That's 5%. While making $10,426, that's 12 times or 1,200% more than they charged him by borrowing from the insurance company instead of withdrawing his money. He would have given up 61.33% rate of return that year had he withdrawn his money, like a bunch of people out there say, well, why would you borrow when you can withdraw? That's why.
So this is the main reason I was sent this video, because he goes on in the video to show client after client after client how all these clients got 61% rate of return on their money. Now, all that sounds great, but the question is he even telling the truth? Now, I personally haven't been in the financial industry since the mid-70s like Doug has. I started back in 2007. So over those years, I've acquired enough clients to be able to go back and look to see if what he's saying is really true or not. So here we have an actual statement from one of my clients. So at the top, you can see this is May 19th of 2021. So this is the exact time frame that Doug is referencing inside of his video, 1 year after COVID-19 hit. So if we look at it, if we scroll down towards the bottom, you can see the different allocations in their IUL. So that orange box, they have part of their strategy is in a 1 year high cap index that follows the S&P 500. And you can see it did a 12% rate of return. So 12% was the cap. It hit the cap, bringing their account value for that segment to $101,433. Okay. Underneath it in the yellow box, you have the 1 year no cap index account. So that's the exact strategy that Doug was referencing that has that 5% spread. So ironically, guess what the return was? 61.33%, which brought the account balance to $146,288. So believe it or not, Doug was 100% telling the truth. He was able to get his clients a 61% rate of return in 1 year inside of IUL. And I'm looking at my personal clients to tell you that that is absolutely possible. Is it going to happen every single year? No, but it's great to see what's actually possible, not just based on projection, but what actually hit the client's account. So if you have a life insurance policy and you want to see how the cash value is performing, or maybe you're interested to see if it's even a good fit for you or not, feel free to reach out. There'll be a link in the bio. Click that, set up an appointment, and we will definitely make sure you're taken care of. So if you have a question, leave it in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.